Yeah, we got you. Hey, Sean, just what has this week been like for you, just as far as the preparation when you weren't away and now coming back today?
Yeah, look, we have the video set up here. I was able to watch video at home. Our coaches are planning here. We've had some virtual meetings. We virtually met today. We did get a little bit of a walkthrough practice in today. You're adjusting and doing it, on the fly.
Sean, are you feeling okay?
Yes.
Physically?
Yeah. So I'm 7 days removed. Today's Friday, so my positive test was last week Friday morning. And then, it's either 10 days to get back in or you test back in, and there's a count that they're comfortable with. But I'm feeling good. Yes.
Sean, can you maybe talk about Ian Book and how he's looked and potentially making his first start on Monday night?
Yeah, he's doing well. I thought today he threw the ball well. I said it to the team also. Obviously, you have a new quarterback, but it's more than just the quarterback. It's everyone else, painting the right picture, us playing well in the kicking game and on defense. He's gonna do fine. He's excited about the opportunity, and obviously there'll be some plays where you want to get on to the next play, but he's kind of going to class with the game plan. He's done a good job handling that, and then it's up to us to give him the right things relative to the game and where we're at offensively.
Sean, how has he just picked things up, and how have you guys seen him grow throughout the season, just being around and being in the classroom and all that?
I think, number one, I would say this: he's a good learner. I mean, it's something we saw in training camp. So, he picks things up. It's all the nuances of playing under center in the gun. We are at home. Obviously, that's important. But yeah, I think he's someone that's been a good student of the game.
Hey, Sean, Ian's a guy who's obviously played on the big stage before, but not this kind of stage. But, I mean, how much of that just helped you think, especially starting on a Monday night game?
Listen, I think it's important. I mean, you're right. He's played in real big games. And he's done it consistently. If you're measuring wins and losses, better than any quarterback in Notre Dame history, which is important. So, yeah, obviously there's a transition to this level, but I think he's up for the challenge.
Could you describe what he does best, and does his skill set give you some different things to work with than maybe you've had this season?
Oh, that's a good question. I think there's certain things that he does outside the pocket very well. I think there's certain things. I think he gets rid of the ball well. I think he's accurate when he throws it. I think he can move and escape. That's something that you saw on his college tape, and we've seen a little here. I don't think you turn and put a completely different game plan together. I think you try to look at the things that he knows and feels really comfortable with. And as this week progresses, and I say that because we still have a lot of time before we play Monday, we get down to the things that we've seen him do and the things that he feels comfortable with, and then also the other moving parts offensively with personnel.
Regardless of the position with game planning, how tough has it been this week with 15 guys on the COVID list? You still have some injuries too. Just game planning with, you don't necessarily know who's available and who's not.
Yeah, I mean, I just finished telling them, if you're out here, you're preparing to play because it's ever changing, and we've seen it change yesterday. It changed again today, and I'm sure it'll change again before we play. And it's the uniqueness of this season, and yet we got to get ready and be prepared if you're in. I think just as importantly is the kicking game, because there's always that attrition. Players that were specialists now moving into roles maybe more on offense and defense. How are we handling that? All of those things will be important.
Is there a chance anyone could come off in time for Monday's game?
Oh, I guess there's always that chance. Obviously, they'd have to test back off, and it would be, in all likelihood, it would be players that have entered the COVID program earlier than later. But yeah, I think that can happen.
Hey, Sean, as somebody who's now dealt with this twice and who has significant stature in the league, as far as this season or even into next season, do you plan on working with the league as far as like the next evolution with COVID, asymptomatic, and getting guys back, and how the league handles this going forward?
Yeah, look, I think that there's a group in New York that does that, and then they pass down the protocols to us. I don't think I'm the only one that's had it twice. I was vaccinated and actually scheduled for the booster last week when I began having symptoms, so we kind of held off on that. But yeah, I think, look, the league will look at it, I would say more on a weekly basis than a yearly basis because it's ever changing.
Sean, what you guys like about Bortles, and was the process of bringing him in different at all, given that you have this emergency going on? Did you sign him without trying him out?
Well, we're familiar with the player. He was up this year for Green Bay when they had an injury to Aaron last year with the Rams in the same way. So he's had experience in different offenses. He was out here practicing today. We'll get him up to speed and figure out the things that he's most comfortable with in the event he has to play.
Hey, Sean, do you see any possibility of this game getting postponed? Like, would there have to be a threshold of positive tests met, I guess, for that to happen?
Look, I can't speak. I'm sure there's some threshold for every game, and I don't know what that is. And that's one of those things that, we can't focus on or concern ourselves with. The key for us is the preparation right now of our players that are here.
I'm sure it feels like a long time ago, but just what was it like last week for you to not be at that game?
It was unusual. Look, it was exciting though. I got to say, it was right during, I would say, my 2 or 3 days where the symptoms were not the worst, but there's a slight fever, some headache, and you feel like you have the flu a little bit. But man, it was exciting to watch. As someone who's done this a long time, you're proud of your players, you're proud of your staff, DA, the coaches, everyone that handled it. A challenging week, not just with me, but with offensive linemen that were out, various defensive players that were out, and Dennis and the staff did a great job. The captains, that's a good football team, obviously, and a great road win, and it puts us, in a real good position with 3 games left in the season.
And Sean, when you're watching a game like that on TV, do you get to be a fan for even a little bit, or are you just locked in so much as a coach that you just kind of that way?
I'm a little superstitious, so if something good's happening, you continue doing whatever it is. I think every one of our fans is kind of that way. You don't leave where you're sitting, or you don't change things up. We played so well defensively that you just felt that that those points were obviously going to be at a premium, and I'm glad we made the kicks, and I thought in the kicking game we played well, but to watching it at home, it would be a lot. There's a fan element, but there's also, you're kind of looking at what we're doing, and you're kind of watching how they're responding. So you can't have any communication, but if you can, you got a list of about 20 things you'd quickly get on the phone with. But that's why we've got experienced coaches and guys that have been here a long time. Pete, just a number of guys that really stepped up.
You mentioned the captains a second ago, talking about just getting through that. I guess I've never really thought about that. How much do you lean on those guys in a situation like?
Yeah, quite a bit. We've got some veteran leadership. I think real good veteran leadership on this team. Guys that have been here for quite a while, and guys that have won a lot of games. And so all of that is important.
Hey, Sean, since you were starting to feel better by the beginning of this week, did the process of designing the game plan for this week change at all since y'all went virtual anyway? Like, did you have someone else take the lead on it, or y'all just
no, look,
as normal, but through the computer or whatever?
Look, honestly, there are days where I'm at home with video and Pete's running the meetings here, and I'm just maybe not even tuned in, where I'm just looking for things that I think will contribute. But, Pete offensively and our staff offensively have done a great job. It's good to get back here today in the building. First off, clean off your desk, because I don't care whatever any of us do, whenever you're gone for a week, there always seems to be more stuff that you got to get off your desk, and then get to the schedule for today, and kind of get up to speed also being out here and seeing it. All right, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys.